What's going on YouTube? It's Brazen back here with another video for you guys. If you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys want to hit a like down below, subscribe if you guys are new here, and leave a comment letting me know you subscribe so I can welcome you to the family. And that being said, cue intro. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another Madden 20 video for you guys. Here today, I'm going to be going over a new coin making method. It's basically based off of a older coin making method, but I'm going to explain a couple ways to go ahead and try to get them for cheap. That way you can go ahead and try to do the set as good as possible. So it's going to be doing the MUT Heroes. So if we check out the MUT Heroes 90 through 91s, we need to switch to MUT Heroes. I will explain. Obviously, if you just want a very consistent coin making method, I showed one already that's about 50 to 60k an hour consistent. You will get it every single hour. This one could be highly inconsistent. You can get some very bad pulls, but you could also make a lot of money. And there's a lot more risk in this method as well. So we can see it's a very full tab of players. But what I want to do is sort down by some positions to show you some of the different pools that you can get that would be very good. So Saquon right here is 42. We can see he is the most expensive running back there. I don't know if there's any expensive quarterbacks, not really. I do know obviously David DeCastro. So his card must have sold at 90,000. There was one at 90,000. I don't think they would sell above 100,000, but they're definitely very, very expensive. So if you get that pool, it's a ton of coins. Jalen Ramsey is another good one. 29,000, not amazing, but it definitely is decent. I believe JJ Watt is another good one, about 30,000 as well. So it's a decent amount of profit. You can open up a lot of these an hour. It's just going to be basically how good you can actually snipe some of these. So what we're going to have to do is get 89. So I will go show you the set after I show you some prices. So what we're going to do first is we got to look at 89s. And since we know the lowest players are about 10, 11,000, we really want to get these players for about 6 to 7,000. That's why there is going to be a little bit of risk on it, because obviously if you're getting for 6, 7,000, you're paying about 14, and then you only get like a 10,000 coin pool. You might lose a little bit, but you know, over time you will probably gain more than you would lose, and it depends on what prices you can actually get cards for. So it's really hard when they're not filtered like this, but it does definitely take a lot of sniping in this method. So that's why I said the other method that I had shown before, that is the most consistent method, because you really don't need the auction house. You just buy training, and then you just buy packs, and that's a super easy method here. What you need to do is basically search around. I would search through different promos. So I would figure out maybe different promos that you think or that you see low overall cards in that are 89 overall. So maybe Football Outsiders, just because we see some of them, and then just see if you can find some 89s. So that's 86, and you're going to have to sort by positions just so you don't have over too many people. So right here, that's an 88. We do need an 89 overall player. And like I said, for about 6 or 7K. So the reason this could be very hit or miss is depending not only on the pulls you get, but the snipes you're able to pull in as well. And I understand that people will say, well, this isn't as consistent. You're not going to be able to do this all the time. Well, that's why I've put out methods like the other one, where you could basically do it unlimitedly without having to go to the auction house. So like I said as well, you know, there is going to be some risk. So depending on what price you want to buy them, you can buy them at 8K each. But then obviously if you buy them at 8K each, now you're paying 16K. And it's just a little bit more room for you to actually end up losing more. So like I said, it's going to be really hard. I'm just trying to sort through and see if I can find anyone for cheap. But you're not always going to get the snipes, and that's a fact. And that's why it's a little harder to do this method. Just because of the fact that you're probably not going to be able to get too many snipes unless you know the filters very, very good. And I will explain a secondary method off of this that you can go ahead and use. I will go show you the set real quick just to show you what we're actually working with. And then, so it's in the archive, so you got to go all the way to the end, go to archive, and then it's in the MUT Hero. So it's for the exchange set, and basically what you do is you need to exchange 2 89 to 90 overall players to get this 90 to 91. So it says I already have 2 89s and 90s. Let's see if we actually do. So we have Michael Vick card, and then we could use this NFL Combine as well, I guess. And let's see what pool we get right off the bat. So let's see if we get someone good. make a lot of coins or what the case is. I mean, you can't draw that up any better. Like, what a pool. That is by far a crazy pool. And if you get a pool like that, let's say even if you sell them at like 70,000, that's such a good amount of profit that you do have a lot to work with until you get another good pool. So they're all very consistent to get, because it's not like David DeCastro has worse odds than, another player. I believe they all have basically the same odds as far as I know. So 97 is the lowest. I'll put him at 96, right under that. So I would make about 85 off of that. And theoretically, I would spend about 15K to maybe even 20K, depending on where you put those players. So we got to put him at 96,000. So I could put him right under that. So, you can see right there how much profit is already made very, very easily. But there is another method off of it that I did want to talk about. It is a little bit harder. Once again, you do have to get some snipes off of it, but you can make a lot of coins. Like I said, if you get good pools like David DeCastro, I just made 80K, maybe like you could say 50, 60K based off of how much I would technically have to pay for the cards, even though I already had them in my item binder. So that is better than the other method, but you might not get those pools every hour. So you might go an hour only making 20K, or you may even lose an hour depending on how many you can do, which could really mess you up in the long run. It just really depends. But another set you can try to complete, which once again, it's not going to be consistent, but it's definitely something you can try to complete, would be get 387 overalls for a random 89 to 90 overall player. And then you can go ahead and use either of those players or that you get, or sell them depending on the price if they're overpriced for their overall. But you do have to snipe the 87s or 88 to be able to do that. And you want to snipe them. So if we're saying we're going to buy an 89 about, what were we saying we were going to buy an 89 at? About like 6-7K, maybe at the most. So that would mean an 88 or an 87, we would have to snipe them at about 2.5K. So we can see 88s, they go for a lot more than that. And if we go to 87s, they still are going to go for more than that. But once again, it's a little bit tougher when you have to scroll forward to find 87s. You definitely are looking for snipes. They're about 5K each. Like we said, you would need them for about, what were we saying? You need them about 2.5, 3K. So it is going to be a little bit of a snipe. Personally, I don't care to snipe. I would much rather do the safer method that I don't really have to use the auction house. But everyone's completely different. Some people very much like doing that. And then having a different method. So right here, 4.9, that's not going to be low enough. So I just went to Ultimate Legends to try to filter it a little bit more to find some 87s. Nothing there in the wide receivers. There might not be really anything here. So we see 3.8. That's a decent price. But not really, because it's going to be about 12 per card still. So, it's a little bit, it's not that great, right? And definitely, it's tough because you do have to get those snipes. But based off of that as well, there is one more method you can use. I forget what promo it is where you can get the 87 plus. I gotta look for it. I think it might be, is it Combine you can get an 87 plus? I don't think it's Combine. One of these promos you can get an 87 plus. And it works decently well depending on what you get once again. So right here, if you could also try to snipe NFL Playoff 83 overalls, and then you would either get an 87 through 89, but the 583 playoff players would have to equal, you'd have to snipe them once again. So, it's all about sniping in this method. Like I said, it's not my favorite method. I would much rather just go to the store, and I'll show you that method just very quickly to end the video. All you do is you go to the store, you go to trading currency, and then at the end, you just buy these alternate offensive playbooks or alternate defensive, whichever one is easier for you to click on every single time. As soon as you buy it, I'll just open one just because I have the training anyway. So you just buy it, you click X to skip the animations. And then basically what you do is you pick this playbook. You don't have to sell it right away. You could just stack them in there and then click some all at once. That's what I do. But if you wanted to, you sell it. And since it's 500 coins a piece, you end up making basically double or a little bit more than double what training value put in. And that's about 50 to 60K an hour. I have a full video on it if you want to check some of my older videos, maybe in the last week or two. I have some full videos on it that show the method a little bit more. But that's pretty much it for this coin making method. Definitely let me know what you guys think about it. Drop a like on the video if it does help you out. Subscribe and turn on the post notification bell. And as always, I will see you guys next time.